When Bart was just 1 year old, he already showed amazing athletic talent. Bart practiced diving in front of the TV, and used the clothesline as a horizontal bar for gymnastics training. But once Lisa was born, Bart had a scapegoat to blame for everything. Bart scribbled all over the walls.
Who did this, baby? Bad baby.
And when he saw Lisa's crib, Bart started crying and fussing. He insisted he needed a crib too. Homer had to stay up all night building him a custom crib, but that bed ended up becoming Bart's nightmare. Bart watched his parents favor Lisa, and it filled him with jealousy.
I hate you.
Even other people seemed to like Lisa more. Bart tried singing to get the aunt's attention, but all he got was told he was too noisy. When Marge took the kids to the doctor, Lisa would get a lollipop. But Bart not only got no candy, he also had to get a vaccine shot. So one night, Bart snuck into Lisa's room, and cut her hair off until she was bald. After Marge punished him by making him stand in the corner, Bart wanted to get back at Lisa even more. He covered Lisa's body with stamps, then put her inside the mailbox. But it didn't take long for Flanders to bring Lisa back. When Homer found out what happened, he made Bart go back to standing in the corner. Bart was completely disheartened, and decided to run away from home. Just as he was about to walk out the door, Lisa actually said Bart out loud. Bart was overjoyed, and quickly picked Lisa up to show off to their parents. A commercial for a discount store was playing on TV, and Marge was drawn to the furniture that had been damaged in a fire. So she decided to head to the discount store to shop. Right before getting on the highway, Marge suddenly noticed the toll sign. She couldn't stand the idea of paying to use something she relied on every day. She immediately turned the car around, and took a dirt road instead. The drivers behind her saw this and followed Marge one after another, with no one using the toll booth. There was no money to repair the town fountain. The mayor witnessed all this, and came up with a plan with the police chief. A week later, on her way to go shopping, Marge found that tire spikes had been installed on the road, and that dirt road was blocked off too. Marge had no choice but to keep going toward the toll booth. As she got closer and closer to it, Marge's heart grew more and more tormented.
Marge, today 75 cents, in 5 years 80.
To resist paying the toll, Marge decided to turn around, and all the car's tires blew out instantly. This made the auto repair shop the biggest winner. At the tire disposal plant, as more and more used tires piled up, the fire there grew bigger, and the heat it generated melted an iceberg in the distance. Because of this, a mailman who had been trapped in the ice for years was discovered. From the bell-bottom pants the mailman was wearing, they deduced he had been frozen since the 1960s. Reporter Kent then pulled out a letter, an acceptance notice for Mr. Largo to get into music school.
In the Juilliard, I could have been stuck in chair with a Cincinnati pop.
Mo got his diagnosis report back. It turned out that when he was a kid, he'd been afraid of having a pollen allergy, so he didn't dare play with other kids in the park. After all these years, he finally learned he wasn't actually allergic to pollen, so Mo set out to make up for the childhood he'd missed out on. Marge took Maggie to a film set for a role. During rehearsal, Flanders tossed Marge onto a bed, and the next second, Maggie suddenly showed up. To keep the shoot on track, the director told Marge she had to drop Maggie off at the daycare center first. Marge tried to explain to the daycare director how to take care of Maggie, but the director insisted it wasn't necessary. Their goal, she said, was to raise independent kids, but it was the only daycare center in town, so Marge had no choice but to give in. The director immediately took Maggie's pacifier away, and locked it in a cabinet. Maggie tried using other things as a replacement for her pacifier, but none of them worked. So she woke up her little friends, and they built a ladder out of their toys. Maggie finally managed to reach the cabinet, but the gap between the cabinet doors was too small, and the pacifier got stuck. Maggie had to lean in and suck on it right there. The director heard the sound of the ladder collapsing, ran over, and locked Maggie in a room by herself. The next day, Maggie put on the prop she'd prepared ahead of time, used the curtain cord to climb into the air vent, and crawled her way to the director's office. Once inside, Maggie tied herself to her doll, grabbed 2 baby bottles, and jumped down. Just then, the other kids, who were outside for recess, saw the director heading toward her office. They found a way to warn Maggie. When Maggie heard the noise, she quickly dropped the bottles, grabbed the keys, and fled. By a narrow escape, Maggie made it back into the air vent, right before the director walked into the office. Next, Maggie used a toy gun and a coat hanger to get to the cabinet, and started passing out pacifiers to the other kids.